In tonight's headlines, students of a Ma On Shan school are heartbroken after they missed the application deadline to participate in major inter-school football competition. A demerit points system aimed at unruly behaviour by taxi drivers takes effect tomorrow. And lawmakers make a recommendation of a minimum living space of 7 square meters to tackle the issue of subdivided housing and poverty alleviation.
Organizer of a major inter-school football competition has rejected a plea from Yanchai Hospital Tong Chi Ying Memorial Secondary School to approve its late application to join the match, meaning that the all-conquering school football team would not be able to defend their title this season. The School Sports Federation of Hong Kong, China said on Saturday its council overseeing secondary school programs decided to deny the school the chance to compete, stating the decision has to be fair to other schools. The school's management had asked for leniency earlier and blamed a former head of physical education for being uncooperative, which led to the loss of the registration password, resulting in missing the sign-up deadline. However, the Federation countered in a statement today saying that the school had successfully reset its password last month, which had been confirmed by the school. Furthermore, upon investigation, it was found that the accused former teacher has been constantly reminding the school to sign up. Following a special meeting on Friday, the Federation reiterated that the cutoff day has been passed, and despite feeling sorry for the students who missed the opportunity, it is only fair that they made such a decision in accordance with past similar cases. The Federation also stated that the school has not been suspended from competing and it could still sign up to compete in other divisions and other competitions as long as the deadline for applications had not passed. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
A new demerit point system targeting misbehaving taxi drivers will come into effect tomorrow. The point system, introduced under the Taxi Driver Offence Points Ordinance, targets 11 behaviours that negatively impact taxi service quality, such as overcharging, refusing to pick up passengers, and taking longer routes for fares. Taxi drivers will be deducted 3 to 10 points for each infraction, and those who reach 10 points within 2 years will be required to attend and complete a taxi service improvement course at their own cost. Failure to comply could result in fines of $5,000 and imprisonment for 1 month. Furthermore, if a driver accumulates 15 points or more, their driving qualification may be suspended for 3 months. This woman said the new system will ensure better service to passengers, as she is often refused by taxi drivers when she is traveling with her mother, who uses a wheelchair. This man said taxi drivers often make excuses like they do not want to cross the harbor, so they can refuse a passenger and wait for reserved customers. This taxi driver said he's not worried about the abuse of the system and complaints by passengers, as long as he does his job well. Lam Sai-hung, Secretary for Transport and Logistics, said in his blog that improving taxi service quality is a long-standing issue and the government is committed to not taking the easy way out. He also emphasized that many taxi drivers genuinely strive to serve their passengers well, and expressed hope that the new taxi fleet entering service soon will help set a positive trend in the industry. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
In light of the upcoming policy address, which will put focus on how to address the issue of subdivided flats, some lawmakers recommended a minimum living space of 7 square meters and urged the government to deal with the issue together with targeted poverty alleviation in combined efforts. Taking to the airwaves, Kowloon East legislator Bill Tang shared insights from outreach efforts, stating that after consulting residents in subdivided flats what size of living space should be deemed unlivable, a consensus had been reached at 7 square meters. Speaking on the same radio program, Kowloon West legislator Vincent Chang emphasized that units receiving the lowest scores during inspections, such as those with combined kitchen and bathroom facilities or failing fire safety standards, should be prioritized for action, possibly granting owners a year to rectify issues. With the government's targeted poverty alleviation policy aiming to assist vulnerable groups, including subdivided flat residents, single-parent families, and the elderly, Tang said the government should take this chance to urge property owners to report the number of residents in subdivided flats, including minors and those applying for public housing, to enhance the effectiveness of these efforts. Additionally, both Tang and Chang also highlighted the ongoing issue of young people lying flat while waiting for public housing, attributing this to persistently high property prices and stressing the need for stronger support to young people from the authorities. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News. Acting Chief Executive Eric Chen admitted that the city is facing economic difficulties and hoped that the series of events and promotions to be launched as the city gears up for National Day would boost local tourism and the economy. Taking to the airwaves, Chen highlighted a significant increase in foot traffic to the city, with visitor numbers up by 44% in the first 8 months of this year over a year ago. We have planned over 400 activities, both day and night. The SAR will be vibrant and colorful, aiming to attract even more tourists, he said. However, he cautioned that once visitors arrive, it will be the merchants' responsibility to entice customers into their stores. Chen believed these activities would undoubtedly benefit the industry, although the economic impact is unquantifiable. Separately, the Kai-Tak Sports Park is set to open next year, with British rock band Coldplay scheduled to hold 3 concerts in April. The acting city chief said the venue has already attracted inquiries from various international sports and music groups and assured that the government is preparing for effective crowd management. The Hong Kong Stadium can accommodate around 30,000 to 40,000 spectators. The crowd dispersal has proven effective there, even in a much busier district like Causeway Bay. The most important thing is to familiarize people with the venue by holding some trial events, he said. Additionally, Chen mentioned that the government is constructing a scenic walking path around Hong Kong Island, expected to be completed within a few years, in a bid to enhance the city's appeal with its iconic Victoria Harbour views and further boost the tourism industry. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
A Guinness World Record was created in a shopping mall in Tsuen Wan, where 750 people were doing stretching exercise with tension bands together as part of the 75th National Day celebration events. Almost 1,000 participants utilized resistance bands for stretching and tried to balance on one leg to assess their stability under instructor's guidance. The event was also part of the government's efforts in promoting occupational health. Labor and Welfare Secretary Chris Sun said the main significance of today's event is that a Guinness World Record will be created once everyone finished together. He added that it may seem like a small thing, but achieving a huge goal through unity resembles the tremendous achievements the country has made over the past 75 years. The previous world record was set in Australia in 2013 with 649 participants. To break the world record, there must be more than 650 participants with a success rate of 90% assured, meaning the participants need to maintain their efforts for more than 30 minutes. With the Guinness certification officer announcing the success of the challenge and awarding the certificate, the world record for the most people doing stretching exercise with tension bands at the same time was reached.
Two children trapped in a blazing flat in Ma On Shan were rescued by firefighters, and their grandmother was arrested over alleged negligence. Emergency service received multiple reports at around 11:43 a.m. that a fire broke out in a unit at Lockwood House in Chilok Estate. Online footage showed a chaotic scene as flames shot out of the windows with smoke billowing, accompanied by a loud explosion that heightened fears among nearby residents. Firefighters quickly arrived on the scene and dispatched a smoke helmet team to fight the blaze and save the two children, aged 7 and 9, both of whom were uninjured. Their grandmother, 52, was arrested on suspicion of ill treatment or neglect by those in charge of child or young person for leaving the children unattended. Initial investigations show that a short circuit in a lamp may have caused the blaze.
The Lebanese army was out in the streets of the capital Beirut this morning after an Israeli airstrike on the city's southern suburb of Daye killed the top commander of Iran-backed militia group Hezbollah yesterday. At least 31 people were killed and 68 others were injured at last count in the retaliatory attack after Hezbollah fired 140 rockets into northern Israel. One of the dead was Ibrahim Akil, a senior commander in Hezbollah's elite Radwan forces.
אקיל ומפקדי כוח רדואן שתקפנו.
Israel Defense Forces spokesman Daniel Hagari said Akil and other Hezbollah commanders were hiding among Lebanese civilians and had gathered in a densely populated area of the Daye neighborhood when they were targeted. They were planning to infiltrate Israeli communities and murder innocent civilians, Hagari added. Recently, Israel has shifted its focus to Hezbollah from the ongoing war with Palestinian group Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Lebanon, which has always been a Hezbollah stronghold, has suffered some vicious attacks this week in which 37 people were killed and more than 3,000 were wounded after pagers and walkie-talkies rigged with explosives were detonated across the country simultaneously over 2 days. Israel has not claimed responsibility for the attacks, which have maimed many of the survivors. Sachin Katwi, Cable News. Ukraine will soon be getting a major chunk of the $50 billion loan agreed by G7 nations earlier this year. On a visit to the capital Kiev yesterday, Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, said the initial amount of $39 billion will help Ukraine improve its macro-financial stability and help the war-ravaged country to get its damaged power grids up and running. The huge loan is guaranteed through profits from Russian assets, which were seized by the EU after Moscow invaded Ukraine.
All the needs are only there because Russia attacked Ukraine. So it's only good and right that the windfall profits are serving this loan. So Russia pays for the reconstruction of the damages it caused. We do everything possible to support the people in Ukraine here, so that for them this winter is a winter where they have light and heat and all the different needs that have to be provided for energy.
Thanking his European allies for their support, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his priorities are to rebuild the country's energy network, erect more bomb shelters, improve schools, and buy more weapons and ammunition.